Hi guys, my name is Godwin Chika Priska and I'm with
Hi guys, my name is Cynthia Atwana. I'm a model, makeup artist, and masseuse.
Nami no know it's not do. Like, I don't know Chika Priska and today we want to be talking about sex education. You know, we have a lot to share and a lot to talk about, and we want to make this so interactive that if you have your own questions or you have things you want to add, you
Or
leave them in the
things-
comment section.
Yeah, or things you want us to talk about again.
I'll be asking
Saturday.
Mrs. Atuana here a few
Miss.
questions. Oh, sorry, Miss. Sorry about that. Miss Atuana here a few questions. She would also ask me, and then we'll just chip in a few things, you know, like just life stuff. So let's get rolling. Okay. So first question: where did you learn about sex?
Okay. Somebody asked me out, and that was it. That's how I knew about sex. Okay, to be very honest, guys, we're having this discussion because a lot of us never got to learn about sex. We just got to have sex without knowing what we're about to do, how we're supposed to have sex, and if we're doing it with the right person. So I want to talk about my experience with sex growing up, or my first experience with sex.
Okay, that's exciting.
It wasn't something I planned to do, to be very honest. So it just happened, and then after it happened, I'm like, what a waste of time to get. So that's it basically. I just feel like we need to be more aware of ourselves.
Okay, so where was the first place you were taught about sex? Like, where did you get a formal education about sex? You know, like they teach you what to know, what causes pregnancy and all that stuff.
I don't think I've ever really gotten a formal education about sex. I had to learn.
So you didn't get it from church, parents, school?
No, everything they said about sex was negative. Like, don't have sex before you get married. Sex is bad for you. You're a bad girl. You will not get married because you had sex, and all those kind of stuff. I've never really heard anything nice or positive about sex my whole life. I had to learn. Okay, maybe social media is the place where I've heard some positive things about sex, like Instagram. There are some pages that talk about women and sex and relationships, and then those are the kind of people that has made me know that okay, there's nothing really wrong with having sex so long as you're sure that okay, this person is worth your body, or you're really comfortable and you're willing to give this person your body.
Okay, like before we like dig deep,
Okay.
I want to understand. Before you felt like okay, it was the right time for you to have sex or something.
I don't think I felt like it was the right time to have sex when I had sex.
You just did it.
No.
Bad bitch. Okay, but seriously, before the whole sex thing happened, maybe for the first time or anything, did you think about the whole pregnancy stuff? Did anybody tell you, okay, you should use protection? Because yes, let's be frank, our moms will always tell us at that point in time when we start seeing our messes, like your period, they will tell you, don't let the guy touch you, don't let the guy lay his hand on you if not you get pregnant. They were just emphasizing more on the pregnancy part, and nobody was really talking about all the diseases and all the things you get from having sex,
which is like the
very important part of it
about sex.
But then nobody would actually tell you that at anyhow any which way, as you're becoming an adult, whether as an adult thing or as a full match, you can't run away from sex. So they're supposed to actually direct you and teach you, okay, you have to protect yourself, you have to do this for yourself, you know, make you aware about some infections that come
make you
as a
know
result
that
of
you
just
should
having
give
sex alone.
consent because it's your body.
So
as a girl.
and I also understand that most parents, they don't teach their kids this thing. in the church, they also shy away from it. Some schools wouldn't even give you enough information
Just
about.
give you free pads. And you're like, what the fuck should I
I said
do?
they gave me free pass.
I swear.
So I believe like there should be somebody who should enlighten us African kids about this whole sex thing, because most of us engaging into sex, we had it raw. We didn't have sex with protection, which is actually very wrong, and people don't even understand that you having sex raw with somebody you don't know, you're not familiar with, is very wrong. And the men you even engage with in this act, they don't even let you know that what you're doing is wrong. They just engage it in you or with you, and then some that beat you, and then you tell them that you don't want to have sex.
Test anybody that you're having sex.
And when they probably see that you're naive and you're still like in that phase where you are not matured enough, they don't let you know.
Because they always know.
They don't let you know you're supposed to be protected before having sex. You get it now, and that's why you end up seeing people making mistakes like getting diseases and infection or having multiple partners, and they are not using protection, which is very wrong.
And you eventually get loose of.
But your mom will never tell you, Choma, take condom now when you dey go.
Even if he slap you, then show them.
No, they say, Choma, because I think the whites, they do this. They know their kids are going to get to that age where their hormones will act up and they won't have
They even
sex.
allow them hang out with guys, go for parties, come back home, tell
So,
them about the experience.
In an African home, they will not let you understand that. They just, at one stage, your mom or dad will just feel like my child is having sex, but they don't even understand what this child is doing. They just expect you to know.
There was one time my mom, like, she like I washed my panties, so she
She did what?
she saw, like, that was when I had sex like for the first time. So she saw the blood stain in my panties, and she knew I've not started seeing my period.
Wow.
So I received hot slap. Very hot slap. She didn't wait for me to explain if it was sex or if it was anything. And then that was it. After the slap, she didn't even ask me, who did you have sex with?
She didn't sit you down and prep you, talk to you about. It's very wrong, because I think growing up as a child, as a female child especially, you need to be enlightened about sex and engaging in the act. You need to be aware that you could get very deadly diseases like HIV, you could get sexually transmitted diseases that could affect your womb, and you won't even know.
And it's even going to be more difficult for you to pair bond with anybody in the future, because already you're
already having sex without the proper
people that you're not really building a real relationship with. Because normally sex is something that you're supposed to build. You're supposed to build a relationship with whoever you're having sex with. That's why it's meant for marriage. You're supposed to, on a normal circumstances, get married to whoever you have sex with. But let's even assume that it doesn't end in marriage. It's supposed to at least be a relationship, because you're supposed to grow in that kind of relationship, not having it with just someone who you probably don't even know his name. You don't know anything about this person, and you just had sex with the person. Okay. So I feel like psychologically, aside from the fact that you even get STDs, it's just not healthy for you as a person, both guys and girls.
Okay, but where do you think a child should get proper sex education from? Is it from the house, from the home? Because our parents shy away from it. Most parents, let me not say our parents, most parents, they shy away from sitting their kids down, talking about sex, talking about like the acts that they will be so curious to know about. Because most of us from home, let me just say, for the 90s kids, I don't know, maybe the 90s or maybe the 80s, most of us mistakenly somehow we saw dicks in our house that were like X-rated.
Some of us were even raped.
Yeah, some of us were raped, but that's like a whole lot of topic. Let's not go into it because that's messed up. So let's go into the part whereby you stumble upon an X-rated dicks in your house, you get to watch it, and probably you were caught. Your parents caught you.
For you.
They don't even give you like this. They sit you down and explain to you that what you just saw is something that is normal and something that is bound to happen to you when you come of age. No, they start making you feel.
Even do with a partner, not watch and imagine.
No, they don't make you understand all this, and they just start saying, looking at you like, "Don't they spoil? don't they, don't they know bad
They'll
thing?
ban
Don't they
you.
know bad thing?
They'll ban you from watching TV in my house for the next 1 year.
So all those things, they give a child too much interest and curiosity to want to try the act faster and to want to know what.
Yeah, because
they're
the
actually
more you
missing.
try to control somebody, the more the person wants to know why you're controlling the person.
So like now, where do you think people should learn sex education from? Because sometimes some kids or some children will turn to neighbors, aunties, uncles, and I don't think those people are the right people to actually educate you about sex. Like the
Well,
way
first is I feel like you should start from the home.
in the home, right?
Yeah, because whatever you learn at home is more easier to learn anywhere else. So I feel like we growing up, we should stop saying, "Oh, my parents did this, my uncle did this, my parents did this." We are going to be parents someday, so we already should start grooming ourselves to be better parents, to be the parents that we wanted our parents to be.
Yeah.
So I think that as much as we can, we should start to get enough of the sex education that we want, because right now I think it's easier to be who you want to be, unlike it used to be in those days. We have access to a lot more things now
and
than
technology.
it used to be before. So if there are questions that you have that you need answers to, you could Google, you could ask people,
Yes.
you have mentors everywhere, and I feel like right now people are more open to teaching people things too.
Yeah.
So just build good relationship, have the kind of environment that you want your children to grow in, have the kind of partner that you feel like could help your children become the person that you want them to become. If you want a partner who is open-minded about, if you need a partner who is open-minded about things that you feel has the same values with you, that's also something that could help your kids be more informed. So yeah, generally you should start from
the home.
home.
And it shouldn't just be like the mom. All
Of
parents
course.
should be actively
Of
involved
course.
in educating their children about sex, protecting, and all the risks
Yeah.
involved and everything. Because I believe the rate at which diseases are being transmitted lately is just because people are not well informed
And it's
and
even
people are
more in
not well.
Africa.
Yes, people are not like well guided. They should guide this body they have. Like it's not just about having sex.
Because you can't run away from sex, to be very honest.
You can't just be having sex with everybody and anybody. You have to be well informed. You have to also guide yourself, protect this body you have. So I have another question, and it's not really so like serious like that. But then I think this question too should be more like, how should I put it? How should I put this question? Okay, so do you think having sex at a very tender age affects a person's life? Because if you check back while you were probably still in school, maybe primary school, secondary school, some of your mates were already having sex, and they felt much more like mature than you at that point in time because they were already doing something you were not doing, and they felt much more mature. But I look back and I feel like they affected them. They're affected by having an act they didn't have much understanding about very early, and they just kept having sex with random and anybody. So do you think it affects you when you have sex at a very young age? It doesn't matter if you're a guy or
What's very young to you?
very, let me just say, very young should be like 13, 14. But I still believe a lot of kids are like having sex at much younger age, probably 9 or 7, I don't know, but except you were raped. Like has to do with like free will. A minor engaging another minor or somebody else in sex, like proper sex. Because we've had lots of sex tape out there where that shows some minor kids that are still in secondary school engaging in sex in really nasty ways, and I'm like, how did they?
The thing is, I don't know if I understand it because I don't think I had sex when I was that little, so I don't really know the kind of effects it has on them. But I feel like generally sex is something you should be aware of because it's like a very major part of your life. It's going to affect a whole lot of areas,
In your
everything
life.
you do, like your career, your choices of partners, relationship, is going to really affect you. So generally, having sex when you're not aware of what sex is could really affect your focus generally growing up. It's going to
I
take
think
a
so
lot
too.
of effort to retrace yourself and come back to a point where you can really correct all those wrong decisions that you made when you
Yeah,
were
that's
not aware
true.
of yourself. So yeah, that's it generally.
So sex can actually affect you if you have it at a very young
Yeah,
age.
because sex is creative energy, you know.
Yes. And then all that body changes too, your hormone. For females, actually has a lot of like changes. For
It
the
actually
females,
does for male. It's just that the way the society is, we are like, guys are more allowed to be wayward. Not that it doesn't affect them. A lot of guys are wayward, but then the fact that they are guys, they are allowed to pass a lot of things
yeah.
because they are wayward. It also affects them too
Okay.
as a person. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Mm. But I think it affects the female more.
Because the society expects more from the female.
Aside from that, you hear things like, mm, since she spoiled at a very young age, you don't expect much to come from this person or something like that.
It's still the society.
Still the society. Well, I don't know.
Because I
Well,
feel like if you want to,
I feel like if she had gotten the right amount of education and probably knowledge on what she was getting herself or himself involved in, there would be a form of like openness. Because people who started having sex early, they were not really open to express that to a lot of people.
and
They would only like show it around their peers, like their age group, people and all that, and it's not
yeah,
just
of
going to be
course, yeah.
everybody.
When you start having sex when you're younger, you start to withdraw yourself from the
Yes,
society because you don't know who's going to judge you, who's going to
and
say, are
all that kind
you,
of thing.
yeah, is she ready for this kind of thing? Why is this child going to be saying something like that? So it's just normal because already you're going to be older than your age mates because it gives you some kind of extra maturity. You're doing adult things now. So yeah, yeah.
But then, is it okay for mom and parents to like talk about boyfriend girlfriend shit with their adolescent kids, like teenagers? Because I strongly believe
I even feel like as a
that
parent you should suggest relationships for
African
the kids.
parents don't talk about relationship. My mom didn't. I was 18 and I was still taking permission to leave the house and all that shit. Not like it's bad and all. But then I think at some point when I got to 22, she was not like, don't you have a boyfriend? You know that like, don't you have a boyfriend
After
kind
you
of
did not
talk.
allow me to go out for
And
years.
now that I'm getting like older, she's like, so when are you going to get
Get
married?
married.
Somebody that doesn't even understand how I have a formal education about
Like how am I
sex.
supposed to even have a boyfriend?
How am
Hello.
I supposed to? Then since you should get to a certain age and just get married. Like that's how it was for them. I don't know why
Yeah,
they're
yeah, because I think it was because of the whole arranged marriage thing. So did they really need to learn? They just went from their mom's house to their husband's
no,
house
I don't think that's how it
directly.
worked for most
Oh,
of them.
really?
Some of our parents that went to school and met
Yeah, that's true.
their
Yeah.
their husband, some different kind of education and other places. Because you can't just move from a single person straight to marriage. It's not possible. It's not possible.
And you know another thing is that we
You
Africans
have to get to know
we rely
somebody.
on God for everything.
Everything.
That's one
This is not a
problem.
God
They
thing.
just feel like okay, just try. God is going to give you the right
A good
person.
husband. God
God
is
is
going
going
to
to
give you
give. They
this.
forget that there's work that you need to do, and there's work for us, and there's
And
work
right
for
now with
God.
the massive rate of divorce and people getting murdered in their marriages, it's scary. I feel like it shouldn't be getting that far, and if it's not
Because it used to
working,
be a do or die affair.
if it's not like going well, I think there should be places or a point people should take a break. Everything should not be forced. But that aside, like our parents just miraculously want us to live childhood, teenagehood, adulting, and be married without boyfriend. They don't talk about boyfriend and girlfriends with us when they are teenagers, because you know your child is in secondary school and probably this person is a guy. He's already having wet dreams and all. He's going to start having eyes for females and all that. Are you not supposed
Yeah.
to be like, even if it's casually, like ask your kids? So you now have a boyfriend, Elvis. You now have a girlfriend.
Yeah, you should
You
be able
get,
to
you should be able
make
to
them
communicate
their
with you. But
relationship.
I don't think African parents do this, because my parents didn't do that one with me. They just, in fact, the first time my mom even saw me with a boy, directly in front of our gate, I was coming in and this person stopped me. She just smashed my phone, started saying I've started following boys.
And then that kind of thing just wants to make you do more. Do you get?
For me, it didn't
I've
want to make me do more.
I never really seen how that thing made you. Did you stop talking to a guy?
How would I stop talking to you?
Exactly, you talk to more guys. Exactly, so it wouldn't make you stop anything. You're even going to resent the person and want to move in the opposite direction.
But
So
then,
it's better when you're friendly and the person can know, okay, if something bad happens to me or if something good happens to me, I can talk to you about it. So it's just generally being friends with your kids. I feel like that's the way it works when you make it real, like make it a choice for them to do what they want to do. Funny enough, in life you will always make mistakes. That's the
Yeah.
funny thing. You cannot run away from making mistakes, but when you have a mentor, someone who is going to guide you through those mistakes, it's easier
you're
to
supposed to be your
deal.
parents. Your parents are
Yeah.
supposed to be your mentor,
Mentor.
your guardians, true life.
Yeah, because nobody can be in this world and come as a perfect human being. I'm sure they made mistakes to themselves, but they are too proud to accept that they made a mistake.
Right.
They are too proud because has your parents ever told you, "Oh, I fucked up with some guy,"
No,
or
they will not tell you.
or exactly.
Why would they tell
They
you?
should be able to say that. Man, there are times when, oh, I did this and it shouldn't be like that. This is the right way. I've gone through this experience and I know that it just is not worth it. This is, you know, that kind of thing. So if they can let you know that it's okay to fail sometimes, I feel like we'll be more comfortable to be better people. I feel everybody wants to be better than their parents if they understand that, oh, my mom did this or my mom went through this and
Yes,
it
I
wasn't
feel like if our parents are also
Yeah.
open to us about their mistakes, it makes us feel like
comfortable. You won't want to let your
Yes.
parents down. So that's just it.
I'm trying to get like your own point, but let's talk about like from our own parents' point of view. Because I don't think that our own parents' point of view is they cannot sit you down and talk about sexual matters with you or things that they know is going to be a big part of your life while you're growing up.
That's fine.
My mom didn't sit me down and talk to me about sex. She didn't talk to me about the female kind of infections you get when you start having sex.
They didn't even tell me that every fucking guy that talks to you wants to fuck you. Like if I knew that early, I would have used it well, man.
they just keep saying this one thing. Don't allow a man touch you.
And then you're running away from guys like they are some cancer. Like it's so annoying.
And then one very naive boy like you would be able to manipulate and like just make you feel like you're doing the right thing and all that.
And then when it
shit.
has gotten to the point where the guy has touched you, one next to you now, so you just allow the guy to keep on touching you because he has already touched you.
And you feel like you're in love. And at that point, they'll tell you you don't know what love is, and they can't explain to you what love is, which is very, very confusing. But as you keep getting older and you keep having experiences, things keep happening to you.
And I feel like it makes it a lot difficult because there are some experiences they would have saved us from having in the first place. Like you could have just saved me the stress so that I could just make money at once instead of having to deal with all these psychological issues of my own. Like, it's all good.
And some people, I feel like some men have this what would I call it, ideology that raising a female child is a waste of time.
Yeah.
What
I
would
think
you
it's
think?
recently that women are allowed
Like
to
it's
change
it's not
dreams
just like
and even say you don't want to get married or stuff like that.
back in those days you'd hear a lot of men saying training a female child is a waste of time because already they see us like sex tools and people who are just meant to be in the house.
second class citizens kind
Just
of
be
thing.
in the house and be a woman. So if you're going to get yourself engaged in sexual activities, you need to
They
read
even
up.
say as a woman it's okay for your husband to cheat and you should just be at home and just be the perfect wife and stuff like that.
And all these stories about boyfriend and girlfriend, we really don't have a good foundation and knowledge about boyfriend and girlfriend. But let me tell you something: if you're going to start having sex, if you're going to get sexually with somebody, and this person wants to have sex with you without protection, it is not love. This person is using you.
Like this person doesn't even know
Somebody,
himself.
yeah, somebody who really wants to be with you with your consent would want you to be protected. It doesn't really matter if you guys are so in love, whereby we know that the love is not real.
I'm also aware that there's some guys that don't even know what they want from life. So it's your job as a girl to know what you want. And if you know what you want and this guy feels like what you want is too much, so obviously it's too little for you.
So if you're going to get yourself engaged in any sexual activity with multiple men or just a single partner, nobody will tell you to get involved with multiple men. As a woman, they would always tell you the best way to stay away from pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases in school is to stay away from sex. They'll say it's abstinence. What was that word again? There's one word they used to use. Is it celibacy? It's abstinence. This will make it look like abstinence is the perfect way to stay away from sexual
premarital sex. Is that the word?
No. There's a word then in school our biology trying to use, but I've forgotten it. Anyway, they'll just tell you abstain, abstain, abstain. But I'm telling you, if you're going to get yourself involved in sex, because sex is something that is bound to happen to everybody and anybody, it doesn't matter if it happens to you at a point in your life where you don't know anything about it. Make sure you're protected, because long run you'll be grateful to God and to yourself that you had protected sex with a particular person, and even though they no longer seem to be in your life anymore, you would move on very fine. Not in a case where you're having sex with somebody, you're getting pregnant for that person, the person is nowhere to be found, you found somebody else, you start having sex too without one, without protection. You will not now know who has a particular pregnancy you got. Don't be in a situation whereby you don't know who is the father of your child.
And
take control of your life and your body and say no. And when you are saying your no, stop smiling. Make your face straight enough and say your no. Let it be clear and let it be sound. Do not engage yourself in sex just because you want to have sex. Sex is a very like important part of your life. It affects every part of your life because it's an energy. So if you're going to be having sex with somebody, you have to be prepared for it. And all this thing about you shouldn't have sex before marriage and all that thing, I don't want to say anything about that because it's there in the Bible that we shouldn't have sex before marriage. But even in that same Bible, there are so many people that had sex before marriage, and even David that took somebody else's wife, committed the sin of adultery, and so many other scenarios that we cannot start bringing up. But please protect yourself and stay out there. The rate at which HIV is flying around is it's too high.
So I want to ask, if you've gotten to this point where you feel like you've already had a lot of sex.
A lot of sex, like how many?
I don't know what's a lot of sex though, but I'm just saying. You feel like you've already had a lot of sex and you want to be with one person now and you don't know how to. What's the thing you feel like you can tell this person? How do you move from there? Do you feel like you need to take a break? Do you feel like you need to have some kind of conversations with this person, or do you feel like you need to be a certain kind of way?
Your question is tough. Our time is up. Our 30 minutes is over.
So this is the last question.
Okay. If you've had lots of sex, it means you've been in a phase in your life where you did not know what you were doing. You were just scattered.
This is for your audience.
You were just scattered, and when you got wiser, you need to start, bringing back your own energy and making sure you organize your own life. So now at this point, you need to. I believe you need to stay on your own and find yourself. And if the person you're going to get involved with is mature enough to take in information that are personal and serious about you, you would know. Not everybody you see out there is mature enough to take information that you cannot handle. There's so many let's say shallow-minded men out there that feel like this lady has had multiple sexual partners. Nah, it's not the kind of woman I want to be with. There are different reasons to want to be with a woman, and it's not entirely on sex. If you base your entire wanting to be with a woman around sex or how many people she has slept with or not, I don't know for you. It might not work for you. It might work. You might either have a failed marriage or a successful marriage. A failed marriage or a successful marriage doesn't depend on whether your wife was not sexually active at all or she was sexually active. A successful marriage is based on having peace and good communication. You guys
Same
have
values.
Yes, you guys have like common value grounds. You guys
Are compatible.
you guys are raising your kids the way you like, you're making money, you're living life on a comfort level, and also you get there's some common grounds you need to have with somebody you want to spend the rest of your
You
life
have
with.
friendship.
And so if your mind works hand in hand, I feel there's some information this person can be able to carry, and I think that's
Just be real, just be
that's
yourself.
the basic foundation to having a strong marriage or something. Not just you have a blank sheet, I have a blank sheet, so we're both clean or we are without sin and want to.
Besides, love is not even everything in marriage.
Love is not really everything.
Even in relationship.
So today's topic that was about sex education. I wish I knew the things I know now when I was 18. Even though yes, I did a lot of reading on Google and other Wikipedia as well, but still sex education should be something that should be taken seriously at the church, from your house, to your school. Everybody should be ready to talk about sex like it's a normal thing. Somebody shouldn't be. You mention sex, and another person is like, "Nah, I'm not going to talk about it." So many people don't want to talk about sex, but nobody taught you how to have sex. You go to porn sites and you're seeing billions of views and millions of views. A lot of you are on porn sites trying to learn about how to fuck the guy you want to fuck or fuck the girl you want to fuck. But none of you are ready to sit down and read about the risks involved and the consequences of your action. Thereby, you bring in children that you are going to be damaging, and just like that, the generational damage done to people's mind and mindset.
Because I feel like some of our parents is the experiences they had from their own parents too,
that
they're passing it down to us.
So it's a generational thing, and it needs to be broken.
By
if
somebody.
if not, it's just going to keep going on and on and on.
Yeah, everybody's just going to be fucked.
That's why you see some families you'll be saying, "This is my stepbrother, this is my stepsister." Your dad was actually fucking outside the marriage, or you get. So I think everybody should just be aware of what they want and
then
how they.
habits are generally difficult to break.
A lot of people have step siblings, and you cannot start questioning your dad or your father like, why do you are.
You have to just accept it.
Hey God, this life.
And you see lots of people like that, they can't even stay married too because they already have that thing in their
I think I
mind.
know a few number of men that they've been married like 3 times and none of those wives are with them and they still have a fresh one with them. You get I don't know. This marriage thing is no longer taken with utmost sincerity and
When you get married for
honesty.
the wrong
Like,
reasons.
yeah, man, when you want to get married, be ready.
Take your time.
Take
Don't
your time,
rush
I know
it.
you're
No
ready.
time is too.
Because you are affecting a
Too
whole
slow.
lot of other people coming ahead of you,
It's not
which
just
are your
you.
children, not just you. Your children will still be affected by the
Yeah.
choices that you make.
Your partner too will be affected by
You're
the choice that
affected by
you
it.
make.
So you also have to consider those
And
people.
a lot of people are definitely looking up to you.
So don't just get pregnant. Don't just live a life that
I'm
you
sure your
regret.
career too depends on the
all these
choices that you
things.
make.
Because I think growing up, I saw lots of like I can't even call them adults. Those girls were teenagers with heavy pregnancy. People that should be in school were heavily pregnant and some of them don't even know the father because they were deceived and just used by so many boys. And these boys are not going to let you know that they are deceiving you.
The boys don't even know what they want themselves.
They are not going to let you know that they just want to get in there and get out. That's their own. They don't really give a shit about you. So you have to give a shit about yourself to know what you're doing.
You have to put yourself first always. Anybody who feels you shouldn't put yourself first, it's just not good for you.
Yeah.
That's just one thing you should always remember. Anybody who feels you shouldn't put yourself first is bad for you. Always.
And I feel like as children, I think there's a point in our lives we should be open to our parents as well.
Yeah.
We should be able to talk about the things that we feel like we should talk about with them. And I know there are so many kids out there that have lots of questions. They are lost in some things. They want to find out something. And probably the internet's not even giving them all the answers they want. They just want someone that knows more that we can rely on.
And you can always talk to us too.
Yes, you can. So if you are that kind of a person, you need someone to talk to, you need someone. That's why you see so many social media accounts that are created anonymously for people to talk about their problems and what they are going through. Talk about your problem and what you are going through. Don't stay back and die in silence.
Sometimes I think I even encourage masturbation,
like masturbating.
Yeah,
that's another topic for another day. Masturbation is another topic for another day. I believe at the growing stage of a guy's life, a boy, they masturbate. If they didn't, I don't know. But at the growing stage, I believe they masturbated because they will not start getting this hormone attraction to, oh, that's boobs, and I can't touch that boob. So they'll just take their phone or a picture of that girl and they'll go into the bathroom to go and masturbate to it and all that shit. So yes, masturbation is actually good, but it doesn't really click into a girl's head like it does with a guy. So this whole sex thing is a very large, very wide topic, and it cannot just be discussed in just a minute or a day. You have to take your time. There are some when you newly get this virgin or you newly have sex, there's this infection that comes naturally, candidiasis. This candidiasis infection that comes, so it immediately happens to you, and probably you go to your parents because those are the people you go to first and be like, "Hey, mommy, my vagina is doing like this." They will not start saying, "So you started doing bad thing." What is the bad thing? Sex.
And then you didn't even know that was how they had you.
You get.
That's the crazy part. Now you're like, oh, so my parents had sex. That was how I came into this world. But then they're making it look like something they've never even done. And it just appeared.
You'll be looking at my mom and dad. How did they have 8 kids? How? But you never see them do the sweetheart, babe. You never see them.
You so sweetheart, babe. I did not see once in my house.
Please let us do better. Our parents have done their own part and they made their own mistakes, and I don't think they can go back in time or anything, but we are having the opportunity now to learn and to know ways we can educate our children. There's something I've heard before. They said if you can't explain something to a 6-year-old, that means you don't understand it yourself. So if you can't explain sex to a little child, a little baby, even if you can't explain it in a way they will understand, you tell them when you get to this age I would explain to you, or you get to know more about it. Just tell them something to keep their mind at ease, not small curiosity and then trying out something they've not tried before. I hear some nasty news about 4 years old, 5 years old kids engaging in sex, and I'm like, with which
there's even a movie I saw, I think it's that From Scratch, where they said kids can handle anything so long as you just tell them the truth.
Kids can handle anything so far you tell them the truth. I wish at some point like my parents were honest with me about some things, so I get
I would have been very happy
to know like the paths, because I mean you choosing a path you want to follow and all also reflects the kind of
personality
you have, and it also depends on the kind of knowledge you have also acquired. So let's also do better for our children. to have a less damaged community and country. I beg.
I'm more self-aware.
No, na
people.
they use condom. Please don't be fucking every person you see. It's not necessary. Focus on yourself. Focus on your dreams.
Let's
focus
stop giving Africa a bad name, please.
Focus on your dreams, your skills. There are so many skills to learn. You're
Use that
supposed to be
creative energy
occupied
well.
within the ages of 16 to 18, 20. I don't know why you're thinking of sex. Go and read your book.
How many books you don't read?
Ali, read. Go and read your book. Be focused. Anyway, I think that was going to end our topic for today. I hope you enjoyed it and you're going to subscribe to this channel because we're going to have lots of interesting and fun topics for you. And you can also follow us on our social media handles. Mine is a Chika Dibia, Chika_Dibia_ I mean D then yeah. Anyway,
I think it's going to be in the video,
screen.
right?
Yes, and you can also follow Chema Aswana at
Black Fly Girl together on Instagram.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright. So that does it for today. Thank you guys for staying with us and for interacting with us on this beautiful, amazing topic. Please like this video, comment so it can be pushed around to people who actually need it.
Yeah.
And thank you very much. That's
And
the end for you
subscribe.
guys. Yes.
Bye.